Hey guys, it's Eagle, and welcome back into another episode of Monifactory. As you can see, we've done a little bit of moving and some decorating around our house, as well as some other things. So let's just go ahead and talk about what we did between episodes. First off, we decorated the base a little bit, added some nice greenery and a little front yard. We also moved all of our materials that were sitting out here into the base, as well as our enchantment setup. Let's go ahead and go inside. We have all of our chests in here ready to go, moved in our smelting, even more storage, and we made ourselves a little bedroom over here, proudly displaying our trophy, signifying that we are in the ULV age, which hopefully we can get out of today. I also built this extra room over here. I'm not sure what we're going to put over here yet, but it seems like as good of a room as any to start adding in our LV machines once we are ready to build those. So I'm super excited to get going again, so let's rock and roll. We also did quite a lot of mining and got ourselves more of the basic materials, some more redstone, and filled this chest up with some more ingots, as we are going to need a lot of those in today's episode. So, super cool, I'm excited, and we should be able to blast and get ourselves our first machines today and make our lives a lot simpler. So as far as progress goes in the last episode, we made it all the way to making our first LV tier circuits, and we made 8 of them to start. I know we're going to need many more, but that's a good start until we get some of the basic machines to make it a little bit easier. So I'm pretty proud of the progress we made here, and today is going to be all about machines. We're going to have to build steam machines, steam dynamos, LV benders, LV machines of many types that are all going to make our lives so much better. We're also going to have to play around with some laser IO to start moving around some of that sugarcane, as well as maybe some steam and items. I'm not 100% sure how we're going to use it yet today, but it's going to be a start. I also completed a few miscellaneous quests, made ourselves a tool belt, and we upgraded it all the way. So we have a place that we can put all of our tools in, and yeah, it's super useful. That should make our life, once again, much easier, as that is the name of the game. Okay, well, let's get started. First things first, we gotta get some power generated. So we're gonna do that by making these steam dynamos to start. There are other early game upgrades that we are eventually going to use and utilize, such as more powerful dynamos with the boilers and the steam turbines, as well as storing some of that power in some battery buffers, which we 100% will do, specifically for the early game. But for now, steam dynamo is gonna be enough. So let's see what we gotta do here. Doesn't look like it's too hard to craft. These gears are always going to be annoying until we get some extruders, but for now, we got to craft them by hand. So let's go ahead and save that recipe and get rocking. I also did a little bit more preparation and made some basic components for our first LV machines. Like I made all the LV machine holes, and I made a few LV electric motors to make our first machine once we have power set up. But we're not there yet. So we need copper plates, an iron furnace, an excitation coil, a redstone transmission coil, and those 2 wrought iron gears. I don't really know where we're going to start, so I guess we'll just start with the plates. I need to move some copper over. Copper has been an issue. I think I went and mined some copper. Oh, I sure did. I was more prepared than I thought. So let's go ahead and make ourselves the 2 copper plates for this. We're going to just make 1 for now, and then once we get the machines up and running, we'll have a better knowledge of the need of power. Excitation coil, we're going to need 5 red alloy plates. Ooh, we don't have any more red alloy. Oh no. Okay, we can do that. It's pretty simple. We got to crush down some copper. And then we're going to have to combine it with some redstone. Red alloy. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I finally upgraded these furnaces to diamond tier, so they're quite a bit faster. So that's super nice. All right, while we're waiting on that, let's see what else we can do. Let's see if we can make these redstone flux coils. We're going to have to make 6 of these rods. And we can make 2 of those. And because of the upgraded furnaces, our red alloy is done. Go ahead and put these here. We need 5 for now in this configuration, and we get the excitation coil. So we're getting there. Get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. We need 1 redstone transmission coil with silver rods. Now we have that. And now the fun part, the gears. So we're going to need some plates and some rods. We're going to need 8 plates. And we're going to need 8 rods. And there's our 2 gears. And finally, steam dynamo. That wasn't too bad, actually. I was kind of expecting it to be a little bit worse. Now, I think if you use these, this is where you can upgrade them into the boiler. So we'll eventually be able to convert this steam dynamo using this steam pipe to make ourselves a steam boiler, which will be able to power 2 steam turbines, which are quite a bit better than this steam dynamo. All right, cool. So we have that figured out. Go ahead and complete that quest. These multi-cycle injectors are going to be super important as they are going to increase the efficiency of our machines. And I don't think they're too hard to make. Yeah, they're not too bad. So we're going to make some of those. I think the rest, or the quest just calls for 2 of them. So we'll make 2 of them. We'll be making many, many, many of these as we get into numismatic power once we get to that point. But we're quite a bit of ways from that. Small copper gears. Okay, we need more plates. And we need some rods. I think I made a few too many. Oh, no. We need a file. Our file's gone. No. Okay. Let's see. Where? Oh, I cannot wait to get AE2 set up. I hate searching through chests. It's right here. And then that with a stick. I don't have any sticks? Never thought I'd be running out of sticks that early. They're probably somewhere. I'm just missing them. Ah, we did have some. Whatever. Okay. 1 stick, 2 rods. Then we have the plates. And I was making some copper rods. Now we can make the small copper gears. But we're going to need 4 of them. So, because I want to make 2. My math was wrong. Man, the inventory is already getting to be an issue. There we go. Okay. And then we're going to need 8 wrought iron plates. And there we go. There are 2 multi-cycle injectors. Another quest completed. Cool. All right. So, in order to use this power, because this produces RF power, we're going to need to make an LV converter. So I think for now, we're just going to make, realistically, probably just a 4 amp. Or maybe a 1 amp would just be better to go to start, because I don't really want to craft all those thicker wires using the current method, because the first machine we're going to make is going to be the basic wire mill. So I think we're just going to make the LV converter. It takes one of our circuits, sure, but the more, or like the quicker and the more efficiently that we can make materials, the more we will be able to make the circuits. So I guess we'll just start with this since we already have everything to do it. And we already have that. Cool. All right, so here's the next part of this, right? I don't want all of it to be showing at all times. So I kind of want to tuck some things away, which means that this room probably needs a basement. So I am going to dive underneath this floor and build ourselves a little bit of a basement that we are going to handle a little bit of our power generation early game. And the basement's completed. And man, it's ugly. But hey, we have something here now to make some power. I also added in the converter, the dynamo, and filled it with water from this water collector. I also made a small hallway that's going to collect us the sugarcane from just above the grass here. So we're going to need some laser IO to move those items. So let's go ahead and get started on that. I also went ahead and made 4 of these basic to steel copper upgrade kits, which we can use to upgrade 2 of these chests at one time. I guess it doesn't really matter which ones we do yet, but that will give us a good amount of extra storage space, as you can see. I mean, wow, these things are huge. So that is going to be super helpful in crafting further. So we can get rid of that, we can get rid of that, get rid of that, and now we need to play around with laser IO. So we're going to need 2 laser nodes. We're going to need 2 energy cards. Yeah. I remember the energy cards being very, very annoying to craft in the early game because they take vacuum tubes. Later on, it's a non-issue as they are pretty much instantly crafted through all of our machines, but for right now, it's kind of a pain. So we're going to need some steel plates. Am I out of steel? I'm out of a hammer. Okay. I don't want to use a steel one because I probably don't have that much left. Let's just make another wrought iron one. Now that we have some more storage, we can grab more of this wrought iron. Let's just throw everything in here for now, just to kind of reset the brain. Oh my gosh, are we out of steel? No. I thought I made a bunch. All right, well, let me make some steel and I'll get back and we'll finish off this craft. Steel has been crafted. Make ourselves some more steel plates. We're just going to make a good amount of them. Steel is just a pain right now as we don't have the alloy smelter to combine the ingredients at a quicker rate and just more efficiently. So we kind of got to do things by hand. We also need to make this laser connector. I went ahead and made the pieces that we need for that. And we can make ourselves a laser node. We're going to need more than just one. I would imagine because of the distance that we're having to travel, we're going to need, we need at least two. We need an extract and we need an input. And we can use these laser connectors to help bridge the gap between them. And I'll explain more of that when we get there. And for the energy card, it says we need two, but I think we just need the one on the extract of the power. Well, actually, since I'm just going directly into the converter, I won't need this yet, but we will once I upgrade this setup, as I will most certainly do. This is more so just figuring out where we stand in terms of generation. Okay. Let's save this recipe. Need the bolts. And then, please, thank you, we can make our vacuum tube. And there's one energy card for now. We're also going to need a conductive iron overclocker, which needs 6 iron plates. And there we go. I think we're going to need to make 2 laser energy cards just to complete the quest. So let's just honestly go ahead and do that. Just another steel bolt. I just throw that on the ground? Oh, did I break it? Oh! Okay, let's put these in here, throw them in the chest. And there we go. Tin plates. And the last one there, and that should be quest complete. Good, and now we can get these various tools that are very, very useful. So let's clear out the inventory again, put the tools and the iron and the ingots and everything back in here. We're going to keep everything laser IO. And then we're going to take our card holder and our laser wrench, which are going to be the 2 main pieces to build ourselves these laser networks. The first thing I like to do that took me a while to learn is if you shift right click while holding the card holder, it will automatically pull from it if you are copying in the world. And it will also automatically take all of the cards that are in your inventory and put them directly into the card holder. So you don't have to worry about it taking up space. If you break something and it goes in your inventory, it'll just directly pull it into the card holder. Really don't know why that's not on by default. I guess I could see a reason to why it wouldn't be, but yeah, this is going to be super useful. There's another component of Laser IO that we're going to end up using at some point as well, called the card cloner. And that is going to be super useful because we can copy and paste settings. And yeah, but first things first, we need to get ourselves a laser node there. And I just realized that we are actually going to need 2 item cards as well. But for right now, we are just going to thug it out and connect these. So we're going to select that. It'll stay selected no matter where we go. And then we're going to go underneath here and see where we need to place our laser connectors to connect this. I'm hoping we can do this right here. Let's hope that it can connect. Perfect. Now we're going to have this ugly looking beam for a while. And these can go 10 blocks, but there's actually 8 blocks in between them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9th block. And this is actually the maximum range that these basic laser connectors can travel. So then we can take that laser node, or laser connector, and connect it into our node right here. So there we go. We've got our first little basic laser setup. It will eventually be pulling items from there, inputting them into the Steam Dynamo. But we can't do that yet. It doesn't know what to pull. So we need to get some item cards. And I really don't know how hard these are to craft. That's not what I want. We want the item card. Ooh, okay, so this is gonna stink. We need pulsating iron, which we actually have some from looting. This is exactly why you go and explore the lost cities when you start the game, because you can find that stuff and save yourself a little bit of time in the early game. And once again, we are going to need more vacuum tubes. Let's just make a few. Let's just make 4 for now. We can make 1 card. It'll auto pull it in. And finally, our other card. Cool. Well, that wasn't too bad. I was thinking it was going to be a little bit more difficult, but I'm glad that it wasn't. Okay, so this is something that I want to get better at in playing this pack, because the last time I played Monifactory, this was in the game, I believe, but I did not use it. I just relied solely on Ender IO conduits. So it's going to take me some time to figure out the best use cases for these, and hopefully relying on you guys to help me out a little bit. So we're going to take our item card. Our card holder will have a slot over here if it's in our inventory where we can pull all these cards from. And we're going to go on this east face. It'll tell us that it's looking at the spruce drawer. And then we're going to right click on the item card and then turn this little thing up in here to extract. You can eventually create filters if you're looking at a bigger inventory system to have it only extract items that you set into this item filter. That'll go right here. But for now, since this is only one item, it knows that it's only going to take the sugarcane. Now, it doesn't have anywhere to go yet, so it's not going to automatically extract it because the laser nodes are not storages. So then we go down underneath here, open up this, on up, and this will be insert. And you can kind of see the particle effect right there. That really means that items are being moved. And we can even also tell by the fact that this is creating a little bit of power. And it's very bad power, but it's some basic power. It should be enough for us to at least power one machine to make ourselves the wire mill. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. Hopefully, I sure do. I have everything I need. We're also going to need some conductive iron energy conduits. Or not energy conduits, so you got me thinking about Ender IO. Some conductive iron wire. These are the LV superconductors, so we don't need to coat them, and we don't need to worry about shocking ourselves if we jump on them. So we're going to take that from here. Probably should have my wire cutter. Actually, I'll be able to do it. Here, and then we're going to put our basic wire mill. And it's getting power. Very nice. Cool. A couple other things I want to do is that I want to make a couple barrels. Let's see. Can I make... How do I make barrels again? 2 barrels, and we're going to actually make these into the sophisticated storage variants, just in case we want to upgrade them later or use any kind of upgrades on them. So we're going to put that there, and put that here. Okay, so then we're going to go into the basic wire mill, and right now we're going to be making mostly 1x wires. Let's double check and make sure that is, I can't remember if it's 1 or 2. I think 2 is 2x, 1 is just the 1x, so that's correct. Then we're going to hit these change directional settings here. We're going to click on the bottom. We're going to set this to auto output. And I think we will actually, this is actually perfect. We're going to need a hopper upgrade on that top one because it doesn't automatically pull into the machine as far as I understand. Maybe we should test it before we make that claim. Let's grab 16 copper ingots. I don't think it will automatically go in because it doesn't know what to do. It's just a storage. Okay, yeah, it doesn't. So then we're going to need a hopper upgrade. Let's see. Hopefully not too hard to make. Not too bad. We can make one of these. And then we need a hopper. Ooh. Hoppers have a little bit Gregified recipe, but nothing too crazy. And the hopper upgrade. Oh, and thankfully we get 4 of them. I don't know if that was always the case, but man, that's going to be nice. And then we're going to take this hopper upgrade and just click it into that slot, and then items will begin draining in, and then we should see them auto extract into this barrel. So we have our first little basic semi-automation setup right here, which is very, very cool. Moving right along here, we can go ahead and check our quest book and see that we've completed a good amount of this first tier. And I went ahead and put this all together like it says right here in the quest, and that has opened up the factory, the next stage. And because we made our wire mill, We already got that quest. So we have a bunch of different options on how we're going to progress from here on out. But I want to start working my way over to the Steam Foundries and the Steam Grinders, as it is going to help us with early game ore doubling, as well as some early game alloying. You know what I mean. So yeah, that's going to be super useful. So we're going to have to make the alloy smelter first, which doesn't look like it'll be too bad. We are already going ahead and making ourselves a lot of the wires that we're going to need in the wire mill, as I just put a bunch of ingots in here. So we're making some tin, we're making some copper, and I think that's everything we're going to need. I put some red alloy in there as well for when we want to make circuits again. But this honestly shouldn't be too bad. We just got to make ourselves 4 of these 4Xs and make ourselves the alloy smelter. Cool, so that's another quest completed. And then we're going to go over here. This is where we need the steam boiler and steam turbines that I mentioned earlier. I don't believe we need the turbines yet to power these, as they just take the steam input. So we're just going to start with this. Not too bad. Let me go ahead and craft both of these steam boilers, and then we'll talk about what's going to be required to make these. Well, I think we are about ready to make ourselves the steam multis, but I made a few more changes. I went ahead and made some more of these machines that are going to make this process even better. I upgraded our power. I finally used those turbines and used the steam boiler to now make us vastly more power. So now we can support multiple of these machines running at one time. The setup that we had before was good for one machine at a time, but as we needed to get some plates and some rods and some wires all going at the same time, we needed to upgrade that. Very, very easy. I'm sure I will talk about how I did that and upgrade that later. But I also built a little balcony outside, just outside of our main room. And this is going to be where we are going to house our steam multis, or at least 2 of the ones that I want to make. I want to make the steam foundry and I believe the grinder. So we're going to go ahead and start making those. I should have everything I need to make it. But let's start off with the grinder, perhaps. This doesn't seem too bad. Ooh, it needs some potent, so we might have to wait and do that. I think we have some potent that we've looted, but I don't know if we have enough. Let's see. I think we had maybe 15 to 20 of it. It's somewhere in here. We have 16. Ooh, I don't know. It should be enough with our new machines. So we're going to hang on to that. So I guess we're going to start with the steam foundry first. We made our alloy smelter, which is required in this recipe. We also need to make 2 of these gears. So let's go ahead and save that. We need 2 of them. Good thing we have a bunch of rods and plates made for this. That is done. The steam foundry, we also need to make some steam machine casings, which shouldn't be too bad either. We already have the bricks, we already have the plates. So let's make a good amount of these. I don't know exactly how much we need for them, but we can make ourselves the foundry to start. Now, what is the configuration of this? Okay, so the foundry is going to need some firebox casings as well. So let's go ahead and save that recipe. We're going to need a steam input hatch, output bus, input bus. And yeah, that shouldn't be too bad. Let's see, the firebox casings, they take a little bit more. Might have made a little bit too many there, but that's okay. No, I know we have... Yeah, I was like, I knew we had more than that. It didn't last me nearly as much as I thought. So while we're doing that, we're just going to go ahead and get some more plates going, because it seems like we're going to need a bit more. So let's just make a stack. Glad I made a bunch of bronze to start earlier. Okay, so we've got the 8 firebox casings. We've got the controller block. We need the input hatch. Ooh, this is not fun. Long rods. A couple of those. Let's see, we need some fluid pipes. And then we can finish up and make ourselves the drum. The input hatch, cool. Then we need the output bus. This is going to be where our items go to. Some casings. And the output bus. Input bus, we need more of these. Man, I really thought I made like 3 stacks of those. And there we go. That should be everything we need for the steam foundry. So let's go ahead and just get that thing. Well, actually, we're going to wait. We're going to do both of them at once if we can. Okay. So this is going to take a little bit longer than I thought. So I'll be back whenever I have all of the stuff made and we're going to build these things. Here we go. We have all of the components, or so I think. We're about to find out. So let's go ahead and start putting these into action. So I think here on the left, we're going to put our grinder first. So we're going to fill up this 3x3. Now I think the controller block goes in the middle. So let's just go ahead and place that there. I believe there's a terminal, and I may have done something with it. I'm not 100% sure. I don't think I lost it, did I? There's a terminal block where we can auto build some of these. We're not going to do that right now because I want to show building this. It's not super complicated, so we're going to take the input hatch. I'm going to need a wrench before we get this thing set up fully, and then we can put casing. These bottom two are going to be the inputs and outputs, and we should just theoretically be able to fill this up with these casings. Unless I'm forgetting something. Now we take input here, output here. What am I missing here? Maybe it goes in the bottom. Huh, okay. It's probably hollow. I always forget that these are usually hollow. And then it probably did go in the middle. Forgive me. It's been a while since I've made these. And there we go. We have the steam grinder formed. We'll worry about getting that thing steam here in just one moment. Next, we're going to build the foundry, which is slightly more complicated, but not too crazy. And then we're going to put the input hatch here, and then fill the rest up with firebox casings. And then we can put the controller block, inputs, outputs, and then hope that we have enough firebox casing. It looks like we will have enough. Oh, we have the perfect amount. My math was correct. And there we go. We have the structure formed. And now it's time to get these things some steam. All right, it's time to get these things some steam. I have everything else. I connected up a laser connector down underneath from one of the ones that's getting the sugarcane, because that is going to be important. And then this is the part that is, I'm not sure, shouldn't be too bad. So we're going to put the input hatch facing downward. We're going to do the boiler facing into it. The water on the bottom. And then we're going to have a node on this side. So then we're going to go into the UI, onto south, place our item card on insert. And then at this point, we want to connect this to the node. And there we go. We are now inputting steam in here. That's not too bad of a setup. It's fairly clean. And then we're going to do the exact same thing over here on this side. Place that there. Water collector on the side. Laser node. Insert items into there. And then theoretically we could connect this one straight to this one and kind of hide the laser a little bit. And now that one's going. There we go. So we have two formed steam multi-blocks. And the last thing I'm going to do is place barrels on the inputs and outputs. I may end up labeling these just so I don't forget, but you know, usually I put the inputs on the left, outputs on the right for machines like this, just because that's, I don't know, it's what I do. So there we go. We have a basic grinder for some ore doubling, and we have the foundry to make ourselves easy alloys. This thing is going to be awesome. So we can start making lots of steel to increase our machine usage. We can make all of our different alloys that we're going to need to progress into the next part of the game. Having these machines is going to set us up on a path to success as we start moving down the quest book even more. In the next episode, we're going to be able to play around with some hostile neural networks, hopefully, and start working our way towards making ourselves the EBF, one of the most important multi-blocks in this pack. So we have a good amount of stuff that we need to get done, and I think between episodes I'm going to do a lot of the boring stuff and start getting ourselves some more materials, make ourselves some more circuits, and maybe fill out the rest of our machine repertoire that we have in our side room. So I'm pretty happy with the progress we made today. Things are going to happen a little bit slower here in the first few episodes as we get a lot of our infrastructure set up and some of the basic materials, but I'm super happy with how things look. I like our little starter base. We can begin to start making plans for our next iteration of the base, and I'll start explaining that when we get there. Hopefully that happens next episode as well, but that's pretty much all I've got planned for today. So I appreciate you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, please hit the like button, and if you're interested, go ahead and hit subscribe. It really helps me out, and yeah, you don't want to miss anything. So that's all I've got for you guys today. It's been Eagle. Peace.